The Joint House of Representatives Committee on Power and Privatization and Commercialization has begun investigations into the botched privatization of 5 power plants owned by the Niger Delta Power Holding Company of Nigeria, which the Bureau of Public Enterprise carried out in 2013. At the investigative hearing organized by the Joint House Committee on the matter at the National Assembly, the committee dismissed Yauna Bello, the representative of the Director General of PBE, Alex Oko, for inability to provide all the requested documents. Chairman of the House Probe Panel, Honorable Magaji Aliyu, in his remarks said that the House mandated the Joint Committee to engage with stakeholders on the move to sell the power plant and to report back with recommendations.
The House mandated the Standing Committees on Power and Privatization and Commercialization to investigate the planned sale of power plants under a National Integrated Power Project and report back to the House its findings, including recommendations. The House noted particularly that in 2013, the federal government announced the proposed privatization of the NIPP power plants owned by the Ndphc with plan to reinvest the proceeds in developing renewable power generation projects. However, this would never come to pass. One of the alleged rationale to justify the sale of the power plant is the need to generate monies to fund some budget elements during the power sector activities. It is pertinent to note that the planned privatization brings forth memories of the Elwes power sector privatization exercise that has continued to be subject of discussion more than 7 years later. In general, the claim that exercise is yet to meet its desired goals.
Managing Director, Niger Delta Power Holding Company, Chinedu Ugbo, says the nation's integrated power plants do not have gas to operate. He added that despite the company's capacity to generate more than 5,000 megawatts of electricity, it generates just 700 megawatts for sale due to lack of capacity by the distribution companies to absorb the available power.
The gas infrastructure are supposed to be transferred to the Nigerian Gas Company, but the transaction, Nigerian Gas Company is yet to pay for them, so we are looking for other ways of transferring them. Honorable members, quickly, in addition to generation and gas infrastructure, NIPP has also intervened extensively in transmission projects. The main operators in the power sector in the country will tell you that if NIPP transmission projects were not built, we would have been in serious mess by now. We had 121 transmission projects. These transmission projects are what you call the big transmission substations, the high tension networks that for bulk transportation of electricity from the power plants. We have 121 of such projects. 50 of them involved 330 kV substations, and 25 of those involve 132 kV substations, all completed. We expanded 36 existing TCN stations, expansion by adding more, the big transformers that are like story buildings. Yes, adding more capacity to the substations. We added 6,150 MVA of 330, 132 kV capacity and 2,800 MVA of 132, 33 kV transformer capacity.
Speaker House of Representatives Mgbajabi Amila, who was represented by the Deputy Minority Leader, Honorable Toby Okechukwu, noted that the only option left is to try to get it right, to correct the mistakes of the history and make the future better for all Nigerians.
The power sector, the power policies, systems, commercial and governing interests around generating, storing, transmitting and distributing electricity to power homes and industries is a critical component of our national economy. It is an area that has been the subject of multiple interventions by government and billions of dollars in local and foreign investments. It is also a sector that has unfortunately failed to deliver on the demand and the expectations of the Nigerian people.
The lawmaker further stated that the power sector reform program is on course and the privatization could either make or mar it, as PBE had commenced the process of the plant sale. Ndphc, Core TV News, Abuja.